Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about plackets, and in this case the regular Nigerian native placket, and this is the kind of placket I'm trying to show you because it can take different variations. So here you have the under one, which is just about ½ inch, and here you have the bigger one. Now the length of this usually depends on you and the fashion idea you're trying to create, but what I've got here is about 26.5 centimeters. This can be shorter, it can be longer, and a lot of things can influence it. So now I'm going to derive this from pattern drafting, not just freehanding, so that you can decide to cut off, attach back different fabrics and make a nice placket. So let's get started. Okay, so in order to draft the pattern for the placket, I have my paper here, and so I'm going to square out a box. Now from the edge of my paper, which is a straight line, I'm going to mark about 4 centimeters. Align your ruler and make sure it's straight and mark 4 centimeters. And from the 4 centimeter, I'm going to mark about 9. Now this can vary based on what you're trying to achieve and all that, but that's the guideline I'm using. So on the lower edge I'm going to mark the same, and here I've marked my points. So my 4 is somewhere here and my 9 is somewhere here. So I'm going to square them across. And I'm going to repeat the same process here. And of course I'm going to connect this. So to ensure a straight ruling with this ruler, you just need to align the middle line here on the line and make sure that it's aligned very nicely on it, and just square across, and that's it. Good. So this here is 4 centimeters, and what I've done here is 9 centimeters. So the next thing to identify is the opening. How open do you want it to be? How low do you want the opening to be? And this is what I mean here. How deep should this be before you continue off to finish the placket? So this opening where you put the press buttons is now the next thing to decide. And so in this case, I'll just do about 18 or 19 centimeters. I just do 18. So I've marked that point right here. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut out this box and move on to the next stage. So here is what I have so far. So from here to here is 4 centimeters, and from here to here is 9 centimeters. So the next thing to do is on this line that we've made here, we're going to divide it into 1 centimeter to the left and another 1 centimeter to the right. So you get your ruler and you mark 1 centimeter on both sides of the line, and you repeat the same thing on the length we've identified for the opening. So square this across right here, and also square up here. Do the same thing here. Now the next thing I need you to do is mark another 1 centimeter up here. So at this point here, mark 1 centimeter up and draw a triangle to this point here and then to the other point. So step up here by 1 centimeter up, and then from that point connect to this point here and connect here also. So the next thing to do is from this line step down about 1 centimeter also and square another box. Make sure your ruler is aligning nicely here. And so just connect this bead this way. So here, this is what I have. I came down and I squared 1 centimeter. Now I need you to rule this line on the left of this, using this as your guide, and rule it all the way down. And that's about 1 centimeter, by the way, if you followed what I told you to do earlier here. So 1 centimeter to this side. And connect. So here is what we have, and this is how we are going to cut this. On this new line here is what I am cutting, not this one. And I'm just going to cut like this. So that point here, the 1 centimeter down that I stuck to. And then I'm going to just continue all the way. Now, if you want to ensure that you have a straight cut all the way here, then you need to measure. So the easiest thing to do is to measure up what you have and connect, or measure from here to here what you have and continue all the way. So let me just do a quick check. I'll do from down. So I have about 9 centimeters, so I need to just mark that right here, so that I don't cut anyhow. So I'm going to snip to that point. Okay, so that's actually the end of this placket preparation. The next thing to do is to cut out the fabric and place this right on your center front. This line here, the one in the middle, and then we continue the sewing. The advantage of this is simple. One, you don't have to keep repeating the same process. All you need to do is just get this pattern out every time you want to do that particular design, and place on your fabric, cut out, and then sew in place. Second advantage is you'll be able to, because I know this is my center front, and in the video where I'm going to be showing how to sew this, you will see how it is positioned. So it's easy for you to cut off this bead and make maybe this place white and this place blue and this place white and blue, or join your fabrics together before you then place this on it to design the placket, so it's not just looking plain. Yeah, so I'm going to do a video on how to sew this, so you need to subscribe to this channel so you can know when the video is out, and it should be out any moment from now. Okay, thank you, bye. Okay, so in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to sew out the placket pattern that we made. And so I'm working with this fabric, and the fabric has two sides to it. So this is the wrong side, kind of lighter in shade, and this is the right side. So with this, it's going to be easier to identify how we place this pattern on the fabric. Okay, so this particular fabric has two shades made together. So on the left you can see blue, and on the right is white. And I particularly think that this is not a bad idea for designing the placket. So on your placket pattern, you should have something like this, and this line here in the middle is your center front. So this line needs to be positioned on the center front of your piece, and this is a miniature. I'll just open that. So on this line here, which is the center front line, creased with an iron, is where we're going to be positioning that point. So you need to prepare your fabric, press it, get it ready for use. I just put that aside. And you also need to have your center front pressed for the crease to show clearly, so that we position our placket on the right line. So I'll just give that a slight press so that we have a nice crease. And here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out this space. So I'm going to position this left side on the blue, and this from the center front to the other side on the white. Alright, so this is it cut out, and what I've tried to do is my center front line here, I've tried to position that on the line that separates the white and the blue. However, I still need to take this out, and I need to cut out interlining or interfacing, whatever you know it as, and I need to apply to this so that, not to the wrong side, so that it stabilizes it, because we're going to be doing a few notches here and there, and we need to be stable and more durable. So the different kinds of interlining, however, this is one, and if you touch it, you're going to feel a rough side, and on the other side it's kind of smooth. So you need to be, the side that is rough is the side that has the glue, so that's the side you should be ironing on the fabric, and the smooth side should literally be facing you. So here I have my wrong side, and I have my interlining, and I'm just going to place it this way, and I'm going to stick it in place with proper ironing. So give it a good press, and this is the right side, and on the wrong side is where I have, added the interfacing. Now you need to grab your placket pattern, and you need to transfer these markings on this, because we need this angle to be clearly visible. So on my pattern I mark this on both sides, so if I flip I also have it here. So I'll continue now, but at the end I'm going to show you how the male version faces, and the opposite is usually the female. But for the purpose of this teaching, I'll just continue with this first. So now I'm going to transfer this marking, and remember I'm going to place it right on the line here, and then use your tailoring marker to transfer the markings. Now before you continue, you need to also trim off any excess you find from your interfacing, so that you avoid any form of distraction. So make sure that it is perfectly aligning with your fabric. So the easiest way to transfer your markings is to put a pin in all the points that are critical to your designing that you want to transfer. So my pin is showing on the other side, and so I'm just going to mark each one and then remove the pin. I'm going to mark the point I need and then remove the pin. I'm going to mark this other point also and remove my pin, and then I'm going to mark this point here also and remove my pin. Okay, so this is it transferred, and I have positioned the middle line here, this middle line, on the center front crease of my fabric. And on this pattern, on this table, I've got the wrong side of my fabric facing me. So this is the good side, of outward part, looking very bright and sharp, and this is the inside of the garment. And this here has interlining, showing you clearly that that is the wrong side of my placket pattern facing me. So I've transferred all my markings. This is my center front line in the middle. But then there's something I need to point out. Now, if you're sewing a placket for male wear, this longer side would be on this side as it is here. So we can conclude that this placket design I'm doing is for male. Now, if you were doing the female, it's going to be the reverse. The long side here is going to be on this side. So you just swap your pattern. Also, you also need to have thought through how to take care of the neckline of the fabric or the design you're trying to make. So in this case here, if I position this right here, I'm assuming that I'm just going to use like bias to finish up the neckline. In the absence of that, then you would have made a facing that you'd have stitched down to tidy up this neck so that all this is well covered before we go ahead and do this. And even whilst you're doing this, you're going to now push this forward a bit so that when you finish, you would have tidied up this point here, and this will not just be the finished product. But for the purpose of this, I'm just trying to show you how to use your pattern to get a placket done. And I'm just going to assume that we're going to be finishing this neckline with bias. So here I'm going to stick this together, and then I'm going to get on the machine, and this is how I am going to sew after I pin this middle in place. I'm going to sew from here to this point, and I'm going to also sew from here to this point. Now it's very important to stop on the point here and not go further, and you might want to go back a bit with less speed and make sure you tighten up that edge properly, because we're going to have to cut into it. Okay, so I'm about to stitch this now, and I'm just going to back stitch on that point, and I'll just take out the pins as I sew. And I'm going to leave my needle down, lift up, turn, put it down, and then sew. Now I'm going to back stitch a bit, just a little, back to that point, and then I'm going to continue again. So I don't want to go past where I should, so if you have to just use your hand to wind to that point, that's fine. Okay, so just back stitching again. Just to tighten up that point over there. Lift up again, turn, and then continue your sewing. That's it. So take out your fabric and just snip that off. So here we have the box, and this is what it looks like on the other side. And so the next thing to do is to snip right into this box from the center front to the corner here, and then to the corner here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just now. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to cut this. And from the center line, which is the middle right there, just cut up until this dot here that starts the triangle. And from that point, you need to cut diagonally to the next point. Do not cut beyond, but cut to. So be very careful when you're cutting. And that's why I insisted you backstitch on that point as much as possible. Now, if you feel the big roller is trying to play pranks on you, you might just use this tool, just so you don't overcut. Now, the next thing to do now is to press. So we're just going to press this and press the seam allowances as well. So I'm going to press on this. I'm going to press all this open this way, and I'm going to press the other seam allowance on this side also. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to press, and this is the stitch line here, so I'm just going to press it down from that angle there and give it a nice press. And on this other side, I'm just going to press that as well. And I'm going to send this down also a little bit over there. And I'm going to give it a nice press. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in about 1 centimeter. I'm going to give it a press as well. Okay, on the other side I'm going to do the same thing. So after pressing, I'm going to send everything to the front. So now I'm going to push everything this way. To my front. And if I need to give it some more press, I will. So here you have it beginning to take shape. And so I'm going to send this also forward. And I'm going to give it another press. So this is it sent to the front. And all I've just done is to give it a very nice press. Okay? So the next thing to do is pick this point here, and on the seam line, the first seam line we did, you are going to flip this over this way and pin in place. And the next thing we're going to do is to stitch right on as close to that stitch line as possible. And that would automatically tidy up the first bit of the placket. So right here I have it pinned and ready to be sewn, and this is the front. So it's the front here, and this is the back. So I'm going to sew just right on top of this seam here. So just position it nicely. Make sure that you cover it properly. Now the main detail in this is the sewing and the stitch, so you need to make it as neat as you can possibly have it. So there I'm back stitching. I'm putting my needle down just to ensure that this is where I want it to be, and it doesn't look as though like where it is. Okay, so okay, my machine isn't moving. Okay, so I eventually got it moving, and this is what I have here. Just making sure it's covering that stitch over there, and just stitch right to the very end. Take your time, don't rush it. You need those little details in Placket, showing you are very thorough and neat. Okay, here we go to the very end. And back stitch, and that's it. Okay. So you have something like this, and you just stitch right on top of this. Now the next thing to do is we need to sew the other part, which comes this way. Remember, we've sent everything forward, so everything is in the front, and this right here at the edge here is just going to place it right on top of the seam here as well. So it's going to look this way. And so the stitch here is your guide for this one. So we're going to stitch it up until this point, and then we'll finish off the lower bit. Right, so I'm about to stitch the other side, and I'm trying to make sure I stitch as close to the old line as possible, and I'm back stitching there. Send this back and align this properly, ensuring there are no wrinkles anywhere. And this is where I'm going, so you can give yourself a mark of some sort so that you know where to stop. Ensure that it's nice, and then go ahead and finish up to that point. Okay, so that's where I'm going. And I'll just back stitch a bit. Okay. So here's what we have. Just ensure that you sew as close to this very edge as possible so that you have a very nice placket. So the next thing to do is to align this, and then give all this a press, and then we just fold this the way we want it, and then stitch around this box here. Okay, so this is the placket about to be finished, and you just give this a press to the desired effect that you want. You could decide to just make it, you know, square, or give it a bit of rectangle effect. And so I'm going to stitch from here, and I'm going to stitch down here, here, put my needle down, move here, put the needle down and twist it again up onto here to create a box. You should not stitch on this because you need an opening, which is the essence of all we've been trying to prepare all the while. So your stitching should start from somewhere here where the opening is here and all the way down. So I've sewn this way, so I'm putting my needle down and I'm going to lift this up and give it a turn and put it down, and then I'm going to sew right on the edge again, and just where the triangle is beginning to take shape, I'm going to pull my needle down again, lift it up, don't rush it. Turn. Actually, it does not turn. It's not quite where I want it to be yet. So I'll make one row of stitch, lift it up, put that down, and sew again. Take your time there because that's the main detail. Okay. And then lift it up again. Okay. Always make sure that you leave your needle in it, otherwise you run into trouble. And then finish off. Okay, back stitch. Just a few there. And that's it. Cut off all your thread and you have your placket looking this way. Alright, that's the end of the placket for this type of placket, and I'm going to make a placket where I'm going to have different, like white, blue, white, so that you can see how you can pattern around the original pattern templates we used to derive this. Alright, like, share, subscribe, and watch out for other videos. Thank you.